Gym Candy Part 4, Chapter 1. Saturday morning, I was at Popeye's at 9 sharp. How'd the scrimmage go? Peter asked as soon as he saw me. Could we talk? Sure, he said. Come into the back. I followed him to the meeting room behind the main counter. The table had a bowl of bananas in the center. Not so good? He asked as he sat, taking a banana out of the bowl. I sat across from him. Tell me about that stuff again. What stuff? You know. The Diana ball? What do you want to know? You sure it's safe? I took it for a year. I do different things now, but I never had any problems. And I'd notice a difference? Yeah, definitely. You'd be able to lift more, you'll be able to lift longer. People know steroids make you stronger, but stamina, that's where they help, big time. Could I take them for a while, say until school starts, and then stop? He nodded. Guys go off and on steroids all the time. Are you sure? I said. I don't want to get addicted to anything. Mick, it's like this. Once guys get going on the candy, they like the results. They keep taking steroids because they don't want to stop, not because they can't stop. But if someday you decide to quit, I promise you that you're not going to roll around on the ground crying and screaming like some wild-eyed heroin user desperate for a fix. I took a deep breath and exhaled. How much would it cost? About the same as what you're spending on the stuff you're taking now. No more? Maybe $10-20 a month more. Should I keep taking the stuff I'm taking now? The protein shakes are good, but dump the pills. How soon could I start? I've got product in my locker right now. You could start today. Today? I said. You mean right now? Why not? I took out my wallet and opened it up. I've only got $20 with me. That's okay. 20 will get you going. He paused. Do you want to do this or not? I swallowed. I want to do it, I said, and then I slid him the $20. Wait here, he said, and he left the room. When he came back, he sat down next to me, opened a plastic vial, and shook out 4 white tablets that were about 3 times as thick as an aspirin. Guys just call it D-Bol. I looked at them, but I didn't pick them up. So I take these and I get bigger? He shook his head. Not that easy. You have to work out even more than before. But it's better because the results are bang, right there. So do I just take them right now? Slow down a second. There are things you need to know. You have to be careful about dosage and about how long you're on it. Otherwise, D-Bol will do some gross things to you. Gross like what? Peter frowned. Like you start growing breasts. I felt my head jerk back as if I'd been slapped. He put his hands up to reassure me. I know it sounds creepy, but really it's good. A side effect like that keeps you from abusing the stuff. As soon as you see it starting to happen, you stop taking the D-Bol. I'll give you some pills and clean out the bad things. You'll lose some strength, but once your system is cleaned out, you go right back on the D-Bol. And you have the other stuff, the stuff that keeps me from looking like a girl? It's called Nolvadex. And Mick, I would never give you the D-Bol without having the Nolvadex ready for you when you need it. Never. I looked into his eyes, and I knew he was telling the truth. I picked up one of the pills and rolled it around in my fingers. How long before I'll see changes? 4 or 5 days. The first thing you'll notice is you'll be able to work out longer and lift more. There are other cool things too. You got some sore muscle or pain in your back, you take these, and it will be gone. I thought how close I was. I wouldn't need much to win my job back from Dave Kane, but for sure I'd be stronger by August. He nodded. Mick, you do the D-Bol, and you keep lifting weights and eating right. You do all those things, and you will definitely be stronger by August. He paused. So what do you say? You ready? I fingered the pills on the table. I'm ready. Pete went to the sink, poured me a glass of water, and slid it to me. Your body puts out testosterone during the night, so you take D-Bol in the morning. Start with 4 pills a day. Later, you might go to 6, but we'll see about that. I put 2 of the pills in my mouth, took a big gulp of water, and swallowed them down. Then I picked up the other 2 and did the same. He handed me the plastic bottle, and I slipped it into my duffel. 2 more things, he said. Being on steroids is like being on a roller coaster. Sometimes you'll get kind of screw-the-world feeling. You'll feel secretly strong and confident, like Tobey Maguire, just before he transforms into Spider-Man. It's actually kind of cool, so as long as you don't let it blow up into full-force roid rage. And it won't if you don't let it. What's the other thing? I asked. The other thing isn't cool at all. Sometimes steroids can turn the whole world into a black hole. I'm talking serious, dangerous depression. Watch out for that too. I want this stuff to help you, Mick, not mess you up. So in this chapter, Mick decides to take the plunge and start taking steroids. And it's interesting to think about because if he had never gone to Popeyes and if he had never met Peter Volz, would he even thought about going down the road with steroids? But he feels like this is his only chance at being the starting running back because he has this 8th grader who's about to be a 9th grader coming up, and he's just as good, if not better than him. And he had that question from Coach Carlson at the end of part 3 where Carlson asked him if he's ever played a different position. So here we have Mick thinking he's going to lose this starting spot on the team, and he's willing to do whatever it takes. So he goes, he sees Peter Volz, and he gets these steroids. And they're not much more expensive than his protein powder and the vitamins are now. So he's like, okay, I'm willing to do this. It's a lot though. He has to take 4, right, at a time. And then Peter also tells him some of the downsides, right? Your body does change sometimes in a weird way, but that's your body indicating, okay, it's time to come off of this. And then he says there's also 2 major reactions you can have. You can go into roid rage, which I feel like everyone's heard about, or you can go into this deep, dark depression, which I think for steroids isn't something that's always talked about. You hear about the roid rage in the news, but you don't always hear about the depression. But Mick decides, despite these side effects or possible side effects, he is willing to do what it takes to become the starting running back.